Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be working on my wife's 2011 Mercedes Benz GL350. It's got the V6 diesel in it. She's an oldie but a goodie, and I've been working on it. A lot of maintenance needs to get done on this thing. So today we're working on the engine air filters. These trucks have a dual filter system. Basically through the front end rad there's two ducts, goes into two air filters, into a Y pipe, directly into the turbocharger, through the intercooler, and back into the intake. So two of them, double everything. It's great. It's really not that bad. This video is going to be kind of a mixed up with the Pcv valve video as well. I'm changing the Pcv valve, Pcv valve. They're also called an oil separator. Basically, excess crankcase pressures need to get vented back into the intake. So commonly, you'll have issues with oil consumption. So that's a separate video, but today we're just doing the air filters. So if you have any questions, leave a question below, and I usually try to reply back same day. This will be a voiceover, and I'll try my best to explain everything best I can. All right, thanks. Enjoy.
Alright guys, first things first, you're going to remove the strut tower assembly. It's this bar that links both the top of the struts together. There's 4 bolts holding it on. I think it's like you need a combo wrench, I believe 17mm on the back side there. Or I guess 2 sockets, but you also need your reverse Torx, the E-Torx I think there. That's what they use on Mercedes Benz. So you definitely want to go out, get yourself a E-Torx combo wrench set and also a socket set. So there's 4 bolts securing the strut tower. In order to get the last bolt though, you need to remove this little shroud on the passenger side. Yeah, there's a little tiny bolt right there. It's really small. I end up just using a pair of like pliers to take it off. Usually it might be like 5mm or something small. After you remove the last bolt for the strut tower, you're going to just give it a firm little wiggle. She pops right out of there. Okay, after the strut tower is removed, you're going to get your 7mm socket and remove these, or loosen up these 3 hose clamps. There's one on each side of the Y pipe, and then there's one at the turbo there. They should all be 7mm if I remember. If you wanted to speed things up, I suppose you could use an impact. This is what holds the ductwork to the air filters. Now that the clamps are loosened up, you can go ahead and get ready to remove the 2 mass airflow sensors. So what I do for this is just get a flathead screwdriver, just pinch and insert the screwdriver at the top there. Just kind of break it open a teeny bit, pull it off. And then there's also another one on the driver's side right there. Make sure you get both of them. Okay, so you can kind of just ignore this next step. I have a oil catch can installed, so I got these big hoses, but yours won't have that. So what you're going to do basically, once you got the Y pipe freed up, you just kind of loosen everything. But don't forget to disconnect. There's a little Pcv valve right there that goes into the Y pipe. Yeah, right there. Don't forget to disconnect that first. It just pulls right out of the Y pipe. And then you can remove it and take a look at all the oil that you have in there. Now my oil catch can is working, so I think that bit of oil that I have is actually from the turbocharger leaking. Alright, moving on to the oil filter housing. Air filter housing. You just got the single bolt holding it on here. I forgot to record this part, but in the back there's actually a piece of firewall that I believe you have to remove. It's just a couple bolts holding it on there. It's very simple. And then to get the actual housing out, you got to just wiggle it, and it kind of pops off the bottom. There's a little nub that kind of holds it on. Just be kind of firm with it and give it a little pull. Now, unfortunately, this video kind of came as an afterthought. I had already changed the filter at this point, but basically got 4 little Torx holding that air filter housing together. Remove that, and then you can see my dirty filter there. And yeah, you just basically plop it out. Alright, the reinstallation is pretty straightforward. Like I mentioned, on the very bottom, you'll see when you pull it out, there's a little nub. So basically, you can reach down with your left hand there, feel where it's got to go, get the air filter lined up, and just give it a little tap down. line your bolt hole up and yeah, start tightening her down. I don't have torque specs for that, unfortunately. It's probably very, very small.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the air filter video. It's pretty straightforward, like I said. The last step is you're supposed to bring the Mercedes back into the dealership and have them reprogram the airflow module or something like that. I've got the technical documents, and that is the last step. I just took mine for a test drive. It's running fine. I got no check engine lights or anything like that. So I'm just going to let mine ride and kind of keep an eye on the fuel economy. But I think the idea is that the machine can sense if there's a restriction, basically the filter's full. And if there's no restriction, and I think it does play with the air-fuel mixture a bit. But like I said, I'm just going to let it ride. I refuse to bring the vehicle into Mercedes more than it needs to. I just recently went and picked up a Pcv valve and I got a free hat. So that was pretty cool, but I can't afford to bring this thing into the dealership. So I'm just gonna see how it goes. If everything's good, no check engine lights, and the fuel economy's still good, then it's good enough for me. Anyways, guys, if you own one of these 2011 Mercedes Benz GL350 or any other OM642 version, they're in pretty much everything. A lot of the diesels anyways. You'll definitely want to subscribe. I am tearing this truck apart. I'm starting, from the front to the back, and be doing all the maintenance and fixing all the previous owner's leaks. So definitely subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.